Hey everybody, welcome back for another brutal but also slightly feminine edition of Shoreviewken. Today we're taking a look at a beat 'em up that lets the ladies take center stage for a change, and that's Ane-san for the PC Engine CD, which was developed and published by NEC Avenue in Japan only in 1995. There's not much of a plot to speak of in this game. Basically, there are a bunch of all-girl high school gangs who want nothing more than to beat you and your gal pals into oblivion, so you take to the streets of Japan to trade fists with every young woman you come across, and that's about it really. But it's a beat 'em up after all. We don't necessarily need a deep plot or a good reason to walk around punching faces and kicking asses. As far as gameplay goes, Ane-san is pretty bare bones. It's a very basic beat 'em up. You have one attack button that you can execute a simple combo with and execute throws. You can also kick downed enemies. You have a jump button, and by pressing attack and jump at the same time, you can pull off a power move that drains a little bit of your health. And that's about as far as the action goes. There are no special moves to speak of, no weapons to pick up either, just the occasional food item. This is also a fairly short game with only 5 stages, and you start off with 3 characters to choose from, though you can unlock more as you complete stages, and when you fail a stage with a character, they are out for the rest of the game, and if you lose all of your characters, it's game over, though there's little chance of that happening, as this is also a pretty easy game. The basic enemies pose little opposition, and the bosses can be taken out in as little as a few seconds. In short, select a brawler, select a stage, teenage girls wander on screen, and you knock their dick in the dirt. In between stages, however, you do get to spend a little time in a teenage girl's bedroom, buying items to increase your health and attack power, or just random things to dress up your room with. You can also listen to whatever music you like from the BGM and play a bonus game of who can make the most demonic face. I honestly don't know why that's there, but altogether I'd say this is a competently made, decently fun beat 'em up, but it's short, easy, and lacking in depth. Luckily, the major selling point of this game, at least for me, is the presentation. The graphics in Ane-san are pretty good. This is a fairly colorful game, and the stages and characters look nice, although like a third of the screen is taken up by the character portraits and a huge text box. It's pretty distracting. On the whole, not a bad looking game, but the high point is undeniably the soundtrack. It's loaded with rockabilly-inspired music that sounds great, as well as tunes that sound an awful lot like Lollipop by the Chordettes and Hero by Bonnie Tyler, but every song is fun to listen to and creates an atmosphere that, along with being about a bunch of teenage girls beating the bejesus out of each other, sets this game apart from its 16-bit peers. So, passable gameplay, decent graphics, an awesome soundtrack, and an unusual premise and comical character designs make this, at the very least, a memorable game. So this is a fun enough game. It's not a great game by any stretch of the imagination, but it is at least worth a playthrough. I can recommend that, but I cannot recommend buying a physical copy as it's quite expensive these days. Well over $100 on average. So if you have some other means of playing it and you have a spare 45 minutes or so to kill, I say go for it, if for nothing else than to enjoy the awesome soundtrack. It's Ane-san for the PC Engine CD. And teenage girls can be so damn cruel.
Yahoo!